One of CTE's finer moments, Antonio Brown takes shot at Skattebo for banging his head against the wall in viral video. It wouldn't be a week in sports without Antonio Brown saying something wild, and this time, he set his sights on college football star Skattebo. After a clip went viral of the Arizona State running back banging his head against a concrete wall before a game, Brown jumped on social media with his trademark mix of sarcasm and controversy, calling it one of CTE's finer moments. The internet exploded instantly, and as always, Antonio Brown found himself right at the center of another viral storm. Let's break down how we got here. Over the weekend, Arizona State's Skattebo, known for his hard-nosed running style and fiery energy, was caught on camera smashing his helmeted head against the tunnel wall during pre-game hype. The clip showed Skattebo slamming his helmet again and again, clearly trying to psych himself up before kickoff. The crowd of teammates around him seemed to love it, but the internet had mixed reactions. Some fans called it old-school football energy, while others questioned if it was going too far. Then, out of nowhere, Antonio Brown decided to weigh in. The former NFL star, who's become notorious for his unfiltered online presence, shared the video on X, formerly Twitter, with the caption, "One of CTE's finer moments." It was classic Antonio Brown, sharp, biting, and instantly viral. Within minutes, the tweet racked up tens of thousands of likes and retweets, sparking debates across the sports world. Was Brown joking? Was he serious? And why was he of all people making a CTE joke? The irony, of course, wasn't lost on anyone. Brown has been at the center of countless discussions about CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, the brain condition linked to repeated head trauma in football players. Ever since that infamous 2018 hit from Vontaze Burfict, when Brown was laid out in the middle of the field, many have speculated that his erratic behavior in the years since might be related to long-term head injury effects. So when he made a CTE reference, the internet didn't let it slide. Replies poured in instantly. One fan wrote, "Bro, you're literally the poster child for CTE," while another joked, "Pot, meet kettle." Others defended him, saying it was just a joke, pointing out that Brown's trolling has always been part of his persona. Either way, the clip, and Brown's comment, turned what was a random pre-game ritual into a full-blown online moment. But here's the thing, Skattebo isn't just some random player. The Arizona State junior has built a reputation for being one of the toughest, most energetic players in college football. He's that guy who plays like every down is his last, running over defenders, throwing blocks, and playing with a fearless edge. His pre-game intensity has become part of his brand, and this head-banging moment was just the latest example. Still, the optics of smashing your helmet against concrete before a game are wild, especially in today's era of increased awareness about concussions and player safety. Even some current and former NFL players chimed in on the discussion. Former linebacker Will Compton tweeted, "Love the energy, but man, that's not the move. We gotta protect the brain." Another player added, "Save that energy for the field." And yet, leave it to Antonio Brown to turn a safety conversation into a viral comedy routine. His tweet not only roasted Skattebo but also reignited the ongoing debate about football culture, the glorification of toughness, the idea of playing through pain, and the fine line between passion and recklessness. Of course, Brown's history adds another layer to the situation. After a career filled with highlight reels, touchdowns, and Super Bowl rings, his post-football life has been defined by controversy. From walking off the field mid-game with the Buccaneers to launching his own rap career and trolling NFL figures online, AB has become something of an internet character. Every time he posts, people pay attention, whether to laugh, argue, or shake their heads. So when he dropped the CTE's finer moments line, it didn't just trend because of Skattebo, it trended because it came from him. Fans know that Antonio Brown doesn't hold back, and this was another reminder that his social media feed is as unpredictable as ever. Skattebo, for his part, hasn't publicly responded. He's focused on the season, trying to help Arizona State turn things around in a competitive Pac-12 landscape. But his video continues to circulate, with some fans turning it into memes and edits set to heavy metal music, while others use it as an example of how intense football culture can get. Even sports talk shows picked it up. On Undisputed, Skip Bayless and Keyshawn Johnson discussed the viral moment. Skip called it football's gladiator mentality gone too far, while Keyshawn defended Skattebo's passion, saying, "That's just raw energy, you can't fake that kind of fire." Meanwhile, across social media, fans debated whether this kind of intensity is admirable or outdated. But it's impossible to ignore how Brown's comment reframed the whole story. Instead of just being about one college player's pre-game hype ritual, it became a conversation about mental health, CTE, and how players are perceived when they express emotion or intensity. Some users even praised Brown for inadvertently highlighting the dangers of repeated head trauma, even if he did it in the most Antonio Brown way possible. There's also an undercurrent of dark humor here. Brown, who has publicly denied having CTE despite years of speculation, seems to use humor as both armor and weapon. His ability to mock serious issues, even those that might affect him personally, shows how complicated his public image has become. He's simultaneously the cautionary tale and the comedian narrating it. And yet, amid all the jokes and memes, there's a real conversation that shouldn't be ignored. Football is an intense, emotional sport. Players often use extreme methods to get hyped up before games. But as awareness about brain injuries continues to grow, videos like this make people question what's tough versus what's just dangerous. For every fan cheering Skattebo's passion, there's another worried about the long-term cost of those hits, even self-inflicted ones. By the end of the day, Brown's post had amassed over 1 million views, countless reactions, and even some media think pieces. It was another reminder that whether you love him or hate him, Antonio Brown knows how to command attention. His words, for better or worse, still shape the sports conversation. And that's the irony of it all. A former NFL superstar known for his own head trauma issues taking a jab at a young college player for banging his head against a wall might sound hypocritical, but that's Antonio Brown. He's part provocateur, part comedian, and all chaos. Cam Skattebo will move on, Arizona State will keep playing, and the internet will find its next meme. But this little moment, one player's intensity and another's trolling, perfectly captures the modern sports era. A viral clip, a controversial comment, and a firestorm of opinions that blur the line between humor, hypocrisy, and hard truth. Because when Antonio Brown hits post, it's never just a tweet, it's a cultural event. And this time, it came at the expense of a college kid just trying to get fired up before a game.